George R. R. Martin, the renowned author behind the epic fantasy series A Song of Ice and Fire, has spoken candidly about the significant creative tensions that have developed between himself and Ryan Condal, the showrunner for the HBO series House of the Dragon. What began as a collaborative partnership has deteriorated into what Martin himself describes as an abysmal relationship, far worse than merely rocky, marked by growing frustration, ignored input, and fundamental disagreements over the direction of the show's narrative. Initially, Martin held a positive view of Condal. He recalled actively bringing Condal on board for the project, seeing him as a true partner in adapting the Targaryen history from his book Fire and Blood. During the development and production of the first season, this partnership appeared to function smoothly. Martin was involved in reading early script drafts, offering detailed notes and suggestions, and seeing some of those ideas incorporated into the final product. The back and forth felt productive and respectful, giving Martin confidence that his vision for the world of Westeros was being honored in this prequel series. However, shifts began to occur toward the end of the first season, particularly around the departure of co-showrunner Miguel Sapochnik. Sapochnik's exit was reportedly tied to disputes over creative control and the overall direction of the series. At that juncture, Condal reportedly sought Martin's support amid the internal conflicts, and Martin chose to back him, hoping to preserve stability and momentum for the show. Things took a noticeable turn for the worse as work ramped up on the second season. Martin observed that Condal gradually stopped engaging with his feedback in the same collaborative spirit. When Martin provided notes, whether on character development, plot pacing, thematic elements, or fidelity to the source material, the responses became minimal or non-existent. In some cases, Condal would offer explanations for why certain suggestions were not being implemented, but in others, the feedback was met with vague assurances like, "I'll think about that," followed by no visible changes. This pattern of dismissal built up over time, eroding the mutual respect that had defined their earlier interactions. The breaking point arrived during a particularly contentious Zoom call focused on the storyline for House of the Dragon's third season. As Condal outlined his proposed vision for the upcoming chapters, Martin found himself raising numerous objections, feeling that key elements were diverging too far from the established lore and his intended spirit for the Targaryen saga. The discussion grew heated, with Martin's annoyance escalating as the conversation progressed. Ultimately, he voiced his stark realization: "This is not my story any longer." The phrase captured a profound sense of disconnection, as if the series had moved into territory that no longer aligned with his original conception or contributions. Following that confrontation, the situation escalated further when HBO stepped in to mediate. Martin was instructed to channel all his notes through the network rather than directly to Condal. HBO would then compile and relay a combined set of feedback. This bureaucratic layer symbolized the breakdown of the direct creative partnership Martin had valued. He later reflected on how the process left him feeling sidelined in a project he had helped initiate. Martin also referenced his earlier public criticisms of certain changes introduced in the second season, some of which he had voiced openly before those comments were reportedly removed or toned down at the urging of HBO executives. Despite the strained dynamics, he remains nominally involved with House of the Dragon as it prepares for its third season. The ongoing involvement feels bittersweet, however, given the depth of the rift. Martin's comments shed light on the inherent challenges of adapting complex literary works for television, where creative visions can clash even among talented collaborators who start with shared goals. For fans of the franchise, these revelations highlight the delicate balance between staying true to source material and allowing a show